Nogales Castillo, and I'm going to present not only 3 changes in our way that you can improve your life to make it more sustainability and more eco-friendly. So let's talk about facts. Every year we take 55 billion tons of earth resources, like for example biomass, fossil energy, minerals, and metals from earth. This is almost like 10 tons of these resources that every person in the world made. So if we are like Western people, so these waste or this taking the resources of earth is more higher than 10 tons. So the number that is here below is like the global resources that we're taking from earth now. So let's think about it. We have a whole story behind us that talks about like 100 years that we have been exploring earth, taking, I don't know, metals, materials, petroleum, crude oil. So just let's think about it. And here is another map where I just put the original waste of generation, like the throwaway that we make from each country. For example, here in Mexico we have 4,050 kilograms for each person, but just think about it. Here in North America, also I think here is Mongolia, we have a pretty big waste of all the work, and it could be increasing. For example, here is of 2016. Yes, it's pretty old the data, but it works. So for example, here in the East Asia and the Pacific is 468,000 of throwaways. So let's talk about plastics. The East Asia and the Pacific region is now is responsible for creating 23%, that is close to a quarter of the plastic waste. Also, plastic is so problematic because if it is not collected and managed properly, this will affect and contaminate our oceans and our seas. And this is not like it does not like contaminate. This will last like 100 or not 1,000 years. So here in Mexico, yeah, we know, as we are all Mexican, we can walk through the streets, and yes, many times we see a lot of waste on the floor and we don't pick it up. But here in the metropolitan area of Mexico City, they are throwing away 20,000 of plastic. And all over the country, we have a total waste of 100,000 of tons of waste. And only 5% of this total waste is being recycled. So my proposals are zero waste. Yeah, I know if anyone knows zero waste, it's kind of difficult, but I'm going to define it for you guys. Zero waste is, I'm just going to explain it the simplest way I can do. So zero waste is reduce what we need, reduce as much as we can, we send a little to be recycled, and we compose that we cannot. So we are living in a linear economic system where we are just taking resources from earth and we're just throwing away to a giant hole in the ground. So with zero waste, it's like a circular economic system when you just use the only things that you can, and the things that you can use, you can recycle and reuse them. So how we can do this? So we can do this by searching for alternatives, like for example, we just started so like alternatives for, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to use plastic bags. So in zero waste, I have like a few examples. We can, for example, you can buy a bamboo toothbrush instead of a plastic one, because the plastic one will it will contaminate more than a bamboo, and the bamboo will last it's much longer to last than a toothbrush. And also the kits, for example, you can buy the kit and it's more economic than just buy the simple one. For example, you have your metal bottle drink, your topper, and your utensils made of bamboo. So this will last, I don't know, it could last for 10 years, and a normal one would last 2 or 3 years. So it's kind of crazy to hear that, because here is this girl that is Lauren Singer, that he has been zero waste, like, he has been in the zero waste living style for 3 years, and this little bottle is the only trash that she has made in the last 3 years. So it's incredible that people like you and me can just make a little jar of trash, and we can even in a day we can make a jar of trash. And also this guy that is, I don't know, his name is Bill Waldenborg. He started to going zero waste through, I don't know, it's kind of graphic, so he's like, this is the average American waste that they have in a year, and he's being zero waste for the past, I remember like 3 months, and he started to, the graphic will, well, it will low the average, because he's not using plastic, he's not making, he's not buying like these cupboards or all disposable dishes. So that's kind of my way to change my life to make it more sustainable. So here's a video. You can see it this video. It's a cool song that made Lil Dicky, and it's about like, we know, I know that people don't believe in global warming, and it's a real thing. There's affecting us. So can we put the video, teacher? It's a song. It's if we have time. But that's all. That's all my presentation.